We are back on the Bethany Sports Beat, and joining me for this walk down that beat is Dave Ring. Don Westfall here, the Director of Athletics. This is Dave Ring, the men's and women's cross-country coach here at Bethany Lutheran College. Optimism reigns supreme this time of year. The weather is cooperating, unlike last year when it was so hot, and you guys are off and literally running on another season here.
It's true.
Last year's teams, just to revisit those real quickly, you guys, every year, steady improvement. Keep inching up on those marks. So that means this year, some pretty high, lofty goals that you guys must have established for yourself. Just talk about those for a bit.
We talked to the team already a little bit about goals, and we said last year the guys got fourth in conference and they should get better. And the girls got third, and they should at least get third or better. We'd like to go for one of those top spots this year if we could.
And and when you look at the roster, we'll get into both teams here in a little bit, but when you look at both rosters, so much youth still remaining on both rosters. Obviously last year, especially for the guys, a lot of youth. Graduated a couple of seniors from the women's team, but still an underclassmen-dominated squad on both sides.
Yeah, there's one senior girl, and senior guys, none.
So how do they deal with the fact that a little bit of added pressure, the expectations? Now Bethany is one of those teams that people are looking at even during the regular season. How they react to that?
And exactly, we've already started talking to the guys about it, and the girls, but especially the guys, because they were a little nervous last year, went a little fast, made some mistakes at the conference meet, and we hope to start changing those already. So yeah, they're excited about it. They are excited to be a team. Today in the run, we had a pack of 6 guys running together up front, so it was really exciting.
And ultimately, even though obviously a lot of these athletes have been running for many, many years, getting to the collegiate level, the idea of how to go out, how fast to go out, the pace, not let your emotions, there's no way you can replicate getting in some of those big meets like the conference meet and the regionals, and you would just hope at some point. And I get a sense you're seeing that from the team, a little more seasoned, a little smarter out there.
A little better, yeah. And they came in a little bit more prepared this year, so hopefully we can turn that around and really use that to push us forward.
All right, so let's talk about the respective teams for a little bit here. First of all, on the women's side, it's hard. I know as coaches, you guys never like to single out any one athlete, but it's hard not to talk about your team and not talk about Lauren Farquhar.
Oh, absolutely. She was one of the top runners in the conference last year, and she's hoping to do that again. And she's a very good runner, very dedicated athlete. So yeah, she should do that again, hopefully.
And without question, she really, at this point, even though she's only going in her sophomore year, she is seen as one of the favorites, certainly at the individual level within the UMAT.
I would think so, because the #1 lady last year graduated, and so she was right behind #2. So yeah, she'd be one of the top ones to look at.
And definitely. The #1 lady, she didn't just graduate; she ended her career winning the NCAA Division III meet. How much is having a runner? And Chelsea Johnson, you got to give her kudos. She won the whole thing.
Great
How
athlete.
much is it for your young team to have a chance, even with their own conference, to emulate and watch a national champion?
Yeah, it's really neat. Our athletes have learned that you cheer for even some of these other people because they are amazing athletes, and why not say, hey, good job, way to go. And it helps our team to see that kind of level in our conference that we can hopefully get to also.
A couple other runners we should probably talk about would be the Sauer sisters.
Yes.
Coming from down in southwestern Minnesota, but they've already made a big impact on the program.
Absolutely. Megan's really worked hard this summer. She came in really strong this year. I think she's going to be right up there with Lauren, and Alyssa too put in a lot of work this summer. So, and they have so much experience at a state level for high school, both of them, that they've taken that to the college level, and I think they're going to both do real well for us this year again.
And chances are you probably even have 1 or 2 new runners that are going to come in again with a younger program, younger squad here, who might be one of those 1 or 2 freshmen that you think, you know what, we're going to have a chance to see them finish and do some work for us in terms of team scores.
Right. I think Kirsten Elias should be good. She's from Iowa, Hartley, Iowa, a good athlete. She was running with the top girls today and stuff, so she should be a big impact for us also for the freshmen.
All right. Men's side, let's shift over there now for a little bit again. Probably even a little bit younger as far as the overall just roster of the team goes. Maybe a little more balance in there, and maybe a chance to move not just 1 or 2, but all of them, moving them up just a few spots in their finishes would make that big difference to get back to one of those top 3 spots.
Absolutely. We have 4 guys coming back that were our top 4 runners from last year and at the conference meet, and they all came in, well, not all, most of them came in pretty good shape this year, so I think we're going to do some good things. Yeah.
Is it one of those things that if you look at your roster, Carl Wolden, Ethan Schwartz, certainly Lucas Melamanek and Owen Richardson, any of those for that level of competition almost daily that they have in practice, Have you already seen evidence of that they're pushing themselves?
Yeah, yes, they are. In fact, they've talked about it, how they're going to push each other and they're going to beat Owen and they're going to do this. So there's definitely some of that going on within the guys' team, and that's good. It's just going to help us get better.
Okay. Any one or two freshmen coming in from the guys' side that are going to have a chance to sit?
Yeah, there's 2 freshman guys that are going to, they were right up there with the lead pack today, and it was Zach Dansman from Owatonna, good athlete, and also David Leering from Lakeside Lutheran. Those 2 guys are right there today, so we're hoping for big things from them.
All right, and then if one final question here as you look at the conference, obviously ahead you already talked about where you see hopefully these teams finishing, but if you just look at the slate of meets that you guys get to, again, pretty tough competition. There's a good blend of what we have here within the UMAC conference, but kicking things off with Gustavus, the GRIAC Invitational, obviously one of the premier events in the country. I know that you really try to utilize those meets every week throughout the season to kind of challenge them during the week at those meets themselves, and obviously everybody's shooting for the new regional meet this year, which is down in Iowa.
Yeah, we really like to go to some of the bigger meets because my first year here, they weren't quite prepared for that, and they kind of blew up in big meets, but now they're starting to see why I do it, and they can see the competition, and I think it pushes them to the next level. So I really like some of the big meets like GRIAC and St. Olaf and UW La Crosse. The UW La Crosse is some of the top-ranked teams in the nation there, so those are good meets for us to go to see where we want to get to and to see the competition level.
All right, well, speaking of top-ranked clubs, this guy's got them this year. Keep a watch for the Vikings in the UMAC, both on the men's and women's side when it comes to cross-country. Thank you very much, Coach.
You're welcome.
Coach David Ring, Don Westfall, Director of Athletics, thanking you for joining us for this installment of the Bethany Sports Beat. Keep coming back to blcvikings.com.